everybody. How are we doing tonight? Thank you so much for coming out. I'm Ben from Country 102.5. We're so happy to be here at the Great American Beer Hall. It's our first time doing an event here. Pretty nice place, right? I think it just opened up last summer. What a vibe. I want to say thank you to White Claw. They're our presenting sponsors tonight. Our friends at White Claw are so good. They made all this happen, so thank you to them. By a show of hands, who has heard Chase McDaniel's music before? Anybody? All right. Keep them up if you've heard them on Country 102.5 before. Awesome. All right. So without further ado, I'd love to bring out, so you guys can meet him, Big Machine recording artist Chase McDaniel, ladies and gentlemen. There he is. Thank you for being here. What's up? All right. So this is new from Nashville, so I really like to start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Letting people know how you made it to Nashville. So when did you know that music was the avenue you wanted to go down?
Well, that mic is on. There we go. What's up, everybody? How's it going? So I knew really early. My papa sang gospel music in a quartet. He sang bass. And I would travel around with him when I was a little kid, watching my papa sing. And I got a Josh Turner CD when I was 8 years old. Okay. That was my first piece of music. And they asked me to learn Long Black Train to sing at a family reunion that we had. And as you can imagine, I was 8 years old. I didn't have any bass in my voice. But I connected with music through my family, and it was always where I went to escape the world. And when growing up in the middle of Kentucky, people do not believe in moving to Nashville, chasing your dreams as a music artist. It was much more. My grandparents, raised me, and they would have much rather me had poured concrete, I think. But it was kind of scary. But I just always knew it was in my heart. I had to go do it.
So you get to Nashville. What is that process like of deciding that that's the place you're going to be moving to for this dream of yours?
Well, Nashville is the home of country music and all the histories there. And, I remember watching I guess it would have been, I would see like episodes or videos of the Grand Ole Opry, probably on like CMT or something growing up, and my papa would record it and we'd watch it together. And I remember seeing George Jones singing. And I was like, Papa, where is that? And he was like, well, that's Grand Ole Opry. And I'm like, well, what is that? And he's like, that's the home and the biggest place in country music in the whole world. And, I'm like 7 or 8 years old. And I said, well, I think I'd like to sing there someday. And he just said, well, I believe you can. And I got to play the Grand Ole Opry last year on July 5th.
There we go. So you go to the Grand Ole Opry. Who was performing with you? Because I know a lot of times they have like a lineup, right?
They do, yeah. So Vince Gill was the headliner that night. And it was really, really special because he ended the show with Go Rest High on the Mountain. And that was one of my papa's favorite songs of all time. Our family had been through a lot of grief. And it was just my grandparents were there, my mama and papa that raised me. And then July 5th was actually the anniversary of my great-grandma and grandpa's, their wedding anniversary. And they had passed away a few years prior. And it was my great-papa that would show me those videos of the Grand Ole Opry. And it was just kind of all crazy, serendipitous, and so my Grand Ole Opry experience was probably the best night of my life.
Best night of your life. I feel like that's hard to define for somebody like you.
It is, but that one was easy. I didn't know that it was their anniversary until later. Obviously the show was booked and everything. I found out about it. I called back home. Everybody's excited. And then I got a phone call and they were like, hey, that July 5th is your great mama and papa's wedding anniversary. And there was only one thing that he loved in the world more than country music, and that was my mama Lois. And so for it to be that date and also be, the craziest night of my life, unreal.
So I was going to ask you, we're in Nashville, we've kind of painted that picture of, you're setting your roots down there. What has been the most successful thing that's happened to you down there? What was that moment of I think I might be making it?
Yeah, I was posting videos online because I moved to Nashville without a penny to my name. I grew up very poor. And so when you move to chase a dream like that and you don't have the resources, you're kind of SOL. And I'd written a few songs. It was during the pandemic, and I was broke because I lost all my jobs. I got a job as a bartender and was just trying to save up as much money as I could, recorded a couple songs. My manager at the bar would tease me during my shifts and play my music over the speakers. And there was a guy that I had been serving Miller Lights to for about 2 years. And he ended up being the agent of like Aldine, FGL, Morgan Wallen. And he's like, hey, I think the song is awesome. I'd love to have lunch with you.
So how did you not know, or how did you not know that he was that guy for 2 years?
Well, if you're that guy in Nashville, you don't want to really talk about it in public. You know what I mean? You're going to be getting a lot of Instagram DMs.
So we talked about the success was on the flip side. I don't want to end on this, by the way, so don't worry. What was the hardest hardship you've had to overcome being in Nashville?
That's a great question. There's so many hardships in chasing what people would call a dream, because you have to be a little bit delusional and psychotic, in my case, to believe that it's possible, you know? Like I said, I grew up very poor in central Kentucky, where people did not take a chance on something like that. It was much more realistic for me to get, I worked in a lumber yard, I blacktop roads for a couple of years. I tried going to school, almost failed out. Lost my scholarship, all that stuff. And so I was kind of running out of options, and then I was like, hey, Memo, hey, Peppo, I think I got to give this a shot. And it was, although they, loved me and wanted to encourage me, it's hard to believe in something like that when you have those circumstances. So I think it was really the mental talk of having the confidence day in and day out that I'm going to make this work regardless of my circumstances, regardless of what's in front of me. I'm just going to believe, I'm going to trust in what's out there for me. And I faced many hard times that I will talk about near my set, but to point out one, I think it's unfair.
It's not fair. It's nice to hear that somebody who has so much going for them, as Chase McDaniel does, they have that conversation of honesty with the people who are raising them. Like, hey, I want to chase that dream. I did it when I was going into radiology. It was something that you kind of have to convince people to do. But it's nice to see that's universal. So I heard from a listener today. They were curious about the day in the life of an artist on the road, because you're doing a lot of these shows across the country. Just walk me through how your day started.
Today, I'm up early because we have a flight every day. So I started off this year terrified of commercial flights. And I just want to say that I'm A-list on all of the flights now, all the airlines.
At least that's the right list to be on.
Yeah.
No fly list.
There's other lists you don't want to be on in airplanes. But I pretty much take a flight to a new city every day. So a lot of airport travel. Got the TSA pre-check, that's fun. Essential, yeah. And then we get there, we check into the hotel. Hopefully we can find a place to shower, which we did today. You're good. You can
Thank God.
Shake my hand, give me a hug, But it's crazy. It just depends, man. We have had some of the the troublesome rock star stories where you're in Michigan or whatever it be, and you have to shower or wash your hair with 4 water bottles and a small bottle of shampoo that you got from the Target or CVS down the road. And everybody's wondering what you're doing. You're sitting outside of the Sprinter van, doing this. And everybody's like, is this guy homeless? What is he,
He's taking a shower, sir,
yeah. Kinda. Yeah.
So, okay. So you're happy to be in Boston, and I may have heard earlier that you had something pretty Boston-centric for lunch.
Yeah. You'll have to remember the barking crab, is that right? Is that what it was? Yeah. Apparently, the Boston Tea Party was at that boat was, okay, don't hate me if I'm getting this wrong, guys. I just got here, okay? It's all rumors at this point. But yeah, we saw a really cool boat, and I was like, that's a cool boat. And then somebody was like, yeah, I think that was a replica of a very historical event, And I was like, dang. Because when I grew up in central Kentucky, you hear the history of this place, and I'm fascinated by that. And so I think that's really cool. But we also take things for granted in
100%.
Kentucky. You know what I mean? We have, the horse race, the Derby, Mammoth Cave. There's a few things there, but like you kind of go on a school field trip in 3rd grade and then you forget it. You forget about it, and so
Yeah, like I commute through like Lexington and Concord every day, and I'm like, something significant happened there once.
Yeah.
All right, I
Something
want to move
essential.
over to a game real quick, and I just did this the other day with Tucker Wetmore. Okay. So I want to see if your responses are similar or better. Hopefully better.
I'm scared.
So we called it Cup of Questions.
Okay.
I've brainstormed a few different little Q&A talking points for you. There's some doozies in here, I'm just letting you know. But nothing you're not prepared for.
Okay.
A little bit of encouragement there. So go right ahead.
I came here completely unprepared to see, so I don't know. All right, let's not go over the first one I see. Okay. I won't look at it. Am I supposed to look at it?
Well, yeah, you're supposed to answer.
Oh,
it.
I got to read it? Okay, I thought. Okay. All right. Oh, see, if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? God.
Not prepared.
Yeah, again, I wasn't prepared. Yeah.
We can
One
take
for
a
the rest of my
pass if
life.
you want.
No. This sounds weird, but my grandmother's meatloaf.
Okay.
It's so good.
Anything
So
like
good.
substantial above this meatloaf?
Well, it's just got a lot of ketchup on it.
Well, all I had was the pretzel from over there, which is about 14 pounds, it looked like. So I could go for some meatloaf.
All right, some more. All right. There we go. Okay.
I know which one this is.
You do? Okay. Did you write songs as a child? What's the first song you wrote? How old were you? And do you remember the lyrics? Sing it. So I did write songs as a kid, but like it was way before I learned to play guitar. Actually, I got my first guitar when I was 15, and the first thing I did out of instinct was I tried writing a song. So I taught myself how to play guitar by writing songs. I never really learned any covers, and I would just pick it and find the notes. But the song was called Invincible.
Okay.
It was for my high school girlfriend. It was kind of awkward and cringy when I played it for her. I thought it was going to be awesome. I thought that she was just going to cry.
Probably number one.
Yeah, I thought she was going to get on her knee and propose to me. And that is not what happened. It was kind of, it must have been a really bad song. But I don't remember how it goes, so I wish I could sing it for you.
Of course he does. One more for me. And then I like to hear some songs that are more recent, if you will.
If your life was a movie, who would play you? Probably The Hobbit, I think. I don't know. Yeah. No, I don't know. I mean, I've always been a huge Tom Cruise fan. I know that he'd have to grow the wig out a little bit, but
I could see Tom Cruise eating meatloaf for sure.
Yeah, Tom Cruise being emo, emo Tom Cruise.
Meatloaf, I said.
Oh, eating meatloaf. I think emo Tom Cruise is a good. Yeah,
Not bad.
That's a good.
Good
That's going to be my new Instagram bio. Emo Tom Cruise.
That's not bad. Can I get credit for that? Do me
Yeah.
one more.
All right.
That's all right. They can fall everywhere.
Okay. Oh wow! If you could steal one song from another artist to make it your own, which one would it be? That is a great question. So I've had an idea for a long time, and this is gonna ruin it, but it's the first thing that comes to mind. I've always wanted to do an Elvis song and like remake it.
Okay.
And there's a particular song called "Suspicious Minds."
Mm-hmm.
Like my family were huge Elvis fans growing up, so I'd like walk into the bedroom and my mom and papa had like old VH1 recorded tapes of like Elvis performances that were just played on the TV. And yeah, I've always wanted to do that song and like make it different. Yeah, not that you could like make it better, but just like do my own version of it.
You saved yourself there. That was good.
Yeah.
That was good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Chase McDaniel has a whole bunch of songs to play for you. I hope you're as excited as I am, because I mean, he's the real deal, and I'm so excited that he's here for you, our winners. It's gonna be so fun. All right.
I'm excited. Let's go.
All right, let's get it going. Thank you, guys.